Disclaimer: this is an imaginary story. Please don't relate it with any idol or any other person. It's nothing related to anyone's life. It's pure work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. Whatever pics are shown in this story, they all have been taken from Google and Pinterest. The credit for them goes to their real owner. Storyline and voice are mine, so please don't copy that. A boy in his 20s sat on the bench outside a closed room door, back pressed against the cold wall. In his trembling arms, a baby burned with fever resting his head tiredly on his chest. His tiny face was flustered red, his breathing uneven. The boy was continuously looking at the closed door with hopeful eyes. His face was pale, lips were dried, and eyes were tired. Suddenly, the door cracked open, and a tall man walked towards him. Before he could react, the man grabbed his child. Boy, shocked and screamed, "What are you doing? Leave him! He is my son!" The child woke up, crying loudly. "Are you deaf? Leave my son! He is already sick!" The man didn't say anything and he pulled baby away from the boy's tight grip. He was walking, holding a sick baby who was crying badly. The boy ran to him and held his hand. "Boy, I won't let you take my baby up anywhere. Give me back my baby. Where are you taking him?" Man coldly, "You are Park Jimin?" Jimin, "Yes." Man, "You are sold now. We only need you, not this baby." Jimin, shocked, "Sold? What? What rubbish are you talking about?" Held his collar. "It's my son's friend's house. He went inside to ask help for my son's treatment. You must have a misunderstanding." The man didn't say anything and started laughing. Jimin was looking at him with shocked eyes. He didn't understand anything. What was happening around him? Suddenly, the door cracked open and another man holding a briefcase came outside. Jimin saw him and ran to him. Jimin, "Yabu, look, what is he saying?" Grabbed his arms. "He is saying I'm sold and he even snatched our son. Tell him to give our cookie back." Yamu didn't say anything. He just smirked and removed Jimin's hand. "Yamu?" "Man, who are you asking help from? He is the one who sold you to us." Jimin, What? No, 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 no. This can't be happened. Yamu? He is lying, right?" Yamu grabbed Jimin's jaw. "Of course not. He is right." Showed him the briefcase filled with money. "I get rid away from you and," pointed his finger to Cookie who was crying, "this burden. And you know what? I got paid for it." Left Jimin's jaw. "Now I'm free from this liability." Jimin angrily grabbed Yamu's collar. "How dare you to call our son burden? I trusted you. I left my everything for you. I sacrificed my whole identity, and in return, you are doing this to me?" Slapped him with his whole strength. "How dare you to use me? You can't sell me. I'm your husband." Hyamu slapped Jimin back and he fell on the floor. Husband, and yours? Did you forget we never married? We were just living partners. I never used you. You were the fool who left everything for me. If you choose to abandon your family and came running to me, how is that my fault? I only wanted to have fun. If you decided to take it seriously, that was your choice. I never told you to leave your family. I have tolerated you long enough. I can't carry this burden anymore. Not you and not that child. Neither you nor this child mean anything to me. At least I will make some money by selling the two of you. Jimin froze. He stared at Hyamu's in disbelief. No words came out from his mouth, only tears were rolling down through his cheeks. Hyamu walked away with a briefcase full of cash without looking back at him. The men holding Cookie started walking to other side. Cookie screamed loudly, reaching towards Jimin. Before Jimin could run after them, another man grabbed his arm. Jimin, struggling, let me go. He is taking my son away. Mento, coldly, you don't have a son anymore. You belong with her son. He started dragging him in the opposite direction. Jimin, no, I need to go to my son. He is already very sick. Leave me. Jimin bit his hand, freed himself, and ran down the corridor. Mento chased after him. Suddenly, Jimin collided with another man who was dressed up in all black. He caught him before he could fall. Jimin looked up at him. It was the Mafia King. Jimin stared at him with terrified yet hopeful eyes. Please help me. He took my son. He's very sick. He needs me. Please help me. The Mafia King said nothing. His face was expressionless. He looked behind Jimin at the men chasing him. Mafia King, do your job properly. I don't pay you to make mistakes. Mento, sorry, King. The Mafia King slightly moved Jimin aside and walked away without looking back. Mento grabbed Jimin again and dragged him away. In a single moment, Jimin had lost everything. The man he loved, the one for whom he abandoned everything, had sold him and his sick son for money. His son was snatched away from him, and the one person he begged for help didn't even spare a glance. Now he had nothing except a broken heart and shattered hope. In a closed room, a meeting was going on. Mafia King was talking with his men, more like giving them instructions. He was very angry. Mafia King, I'm not here. That doesn't mean you can do whatever you want to. You all are still obliged to inform me and giving the report of every single decision you made behind my back. And what's this? Why are there all the files incomplete? Angrily threw the files on the table. This is your professionalism? I pay you for this? Next time, if you dare to show me a single negligence of work, that day will be the last day of your life. Min Jungi can never accept clumsiness and carelessness. Jungi was shouting at his men because of carelessness. He was looking so dangerous. Other men were just hearing him, lowering their heads. Suddenly, the door opened and a child ran inside while crying hard. His face was completely red and covered with his own tears. He was none other than Cookie, Jimin's son, whom he pushed away a few hours ago. Yoongi saw him and stood from his chair. He was too stunned to react to anything. Cookie ran to him. Seeing him running towards himself, he took a back step. He had the problem with babies. Cookie hugged his leg tightly to get warmth. He was crying so hard, a man tried to pull him off, but he was cleansing Yoongi so hard and didn't want to leave him at any cost. Yoongi felt a burning sensation. Being a mafia king, usually he didn't get affected by crying and other things. It was a part of his job, but didn't know why. He was unable to hold back himself. He closed his eyes and clenched his fist. He tried everything to not pay attention on him, but that child's painful crying was powerful enough to break a mafia's cold shield. His tiny burning body forced him to not stay silent. First time he was unable to hear his crying. He stopped his men who were trying to pull Cookie off and said, Yoongi, Goldie, stop it, move back. Whose child is he? And what is he doing here? Men, sorry boss, I will check whose child he is. Yoongi, I hired only dumb people. You all call yourself mafias? Are you serious? Here is no privacy. You. Cookie held his hand to get his attention. Mama. Yoongi carried him in his arms. He is burning. Cookie placed his head on Yoongi's shoulder and rubbing his face. Mama. Yoongi removed his coat and covered him. Bring his parent to my home. Took out his phone and called. Hello, come to my home fast. I want you there in 5 minutes. Cut the call without hearing the reply and left. Yoongi left from there with Cookie. Soon he reached his mansion. Yoongi's personal doctor was treating him. Jimin was with Cookie. He was still crying. Yoongi was watching them through, standing far away and talking with his men. Yoongi, this child is his? Men, yes boss. In the morning we finalized his deal. Yoongi, when he already has a child, why did you buy him? Men, at first we denied, but his husband was in hurry and we need a boy for Mr. Wong. His flight is about to land. Yoongi, I want this boy for me. Men, but boss, he is for Mr. Wong. If you want, I will arrange any Yoongi, I only want him. Men, but boss, please try to understand. Mr. Wong's company already bought him. We can't do anything about it. We are just his associate. We can't claim him. He is only Mr. Wong's. Yoongi, I don't care about anything. At the moment he entered in my mansion, he already became mine. Paid them triple the amount. I don't care how you will do this. Now go. You have very less time to arrange everything. The man left being panicked. He knew Yoongi's this decision would bring a big tension for them. Doctor approached him, who was his young too. Dr. Jin. Yoongi. Jin. Yoongi, the child's condition isn't good. I sent some sample for the test. He didn't get proper treatment before, which made his condition serious. Yoongi, what do you want to say, Hyang? Say clearly. You know I don't have patience to understand your round talks. Jin, fine, I want to say I have to shift him to the hospital. Yungi, no, he won't go anywhere. Whatever you need, tell my men. They will arrange everything here. Jin, Yungi, you aren't understanding the seriousness. Yungi, you aren't understanding Yang. I think if you will utilize your time in treating him other than arguing with me, it will be better for everyone. Left. Jin, Yungi, Yungi. Ah, he never listened to me. Left. Yungi came inside the room and found Jimin was trying to calm Cookie down, who was still crying. Yungi went to him and took Cookie from his hand. Jimin tried to protest, but he slightly pushed him. Jimin, leave my son. Hit Yungi's arm. Yungi, I won't hurt him. I'm here. Go and sit there. Slightly pushed him. Jimin, he's my son. I know very well how to calm him down. Try to snatch Cookie back. In their pulling, Cookie started crying even louder. Yungi pushed Jimin and went outside. After locking the door, Jimin was banging the door. He was so scared. He thought he would lose his son. Jimin, banging the door. Where are you taking him? I promise I won't disturb you. Please come back. I won't follow you. I will sit quietly at the corner. Please don't harm my son. Cookie, Cookie, Cookie. Jimin was banging the door, but no use. Nobody opened the door. His screams were echoing in the empty room. His voice became raspy. His hands were red by banging the door. He fell on the floor. He didn't have any energy left. He was hungry for days. After few minutes, Yungi entered with Cookie, who was sleeping peacefully on his shoulder. As soon as he opened the door, he found Jimin on the floor near the door. When Jimin saw them, he immediately stood up, but when he didn't hear Cookie's crying, he panicked. He thought Yungi had done something to his son. He looked at Yungi and said, Jimin, why isn't he saying anything? What did you do with him? My son? Yungi covered his mouth with his hand. Shh, he is just sleeping. Don't make noise. Gave Cookie to him. As soon as he gave Cookie to Jimin, he clenched him tightly in his arms and sat on the floor at the corner while hugging Cookie. Yungi was just standing at the door frame and looking at Jimin, trying to observe his fear. It wasn't the normal fear of losing his son or his sickness. It was something else. But what? Yungi was trying to figure out this. Jimin was looking so tired, like he hadn't slept for days. His eyes were tired, face was pale, body was weak and trembling, and soul was terrified. He wasn't in the state of seeing anything. He was very desperate. Right now, he needed just a little time with his son and assurance that he and his son were safe. Yungi locked the door from outside and left. After an hour, he again entered, but this time with a tray of food. He unlocked the door and saw Jimin was still sitting on the floor with Cookie. He didn't move from his place. He slowly went to him and bent down to place the tray of food, but Jimin panicked and clenched Cookie tightly. He thought Yungi is here to snatch his son away. Jimin, cleansing Cookie. Don't snatch my son. Yungi, step back. I only brought food for you two. I'm not going to snatch your son away. Sit on the bed. Look, I'm not coming to you. Jimin kept chanting, don't snatch my son. Yungi tried to talk, but Jimin kept chanting same sentence again and again, which made him so frustrated. Yungi got Jin's message and he went out after locking the door. Yungi, have you done with the preparation? Jin, so you have already made your mind that you would never listen to me? Yungi, if there is something worth listening to, I will definitely listen to you. Jin, something worth listening to, Ah, inhaled and exhaled, tried to calm himself down. Leave it. I have arranged everything in the guest room. Yungi, why in the guest room? Jin, then where was I supposed to arrange everything? Yungi, in my room. It's pretty big for three. Jin, are you serious? You really want to sleep with him? If yes, then drop the plan right now. He isn't well, he's traumatized. Don't even go closer to him. And moreover, he already has a son. Yungi, of course I'm going to sleep with him, but not like what you think. He can't take care of his son alone. He wasn't even able to calm his son down by his own. If I will be with him, I will take care of his sick son. So arrange everything in my room. Jin, looking at him, Min Jungi, who never let anyone to come closer to him, is now talking about sleeping with someone. And not only this, is ready to take care of them, who never shared his room with me. Now talking to share his room with a stranger. I really don't understand this. Do you really want him so bad? Yungi, stop using your mind. Have you seen his face? He's literally looking like a child in front of me. He isn't in the condition of taking care of his sick son. That's why I'm allowing him in my room. Jin, but still maintain distance from him. It would be better for him if he sleeps in the guest room. If he sees you so closer to him, he will think that you have come to take his child. I already appointed a nurse. She will take care of both of them. Jungi, no stranger will come into my house. You should be thankful that I allowed you in my mansion. Jin, Jungi, you really need to leave your this stubborn side and trust someone. Jungi, no need to lecture me. Your so-called coward husband is waiting outside for you. Go and give him a lecture. If he dares to enter in my property, I will definitely break his legs. Jin, fine, no need to involve him in this. He's already so scared of you. I knew that you wouldn't listen to me. That's why I already prepared everything. All the medicines was in the guest room along with his chart. I already mentioned everything. I will come in the morning to check them. Left. Jin left and Jungi came back to his room. He saw Cookie was sitting on the floor and Jimin was feeding him. He wasn't eating. He waited outside until he fed Cookie. He didn't want to panic him. Once Cookie was done, he ate the leftover. He didn't leave a single grain. He ate everything. Jungi went to the kitchen and brought more food for him. He left the bowl at distance and came outside. Jimin brought the food and ate. Jungi was just looking at him. It seemed like he had been hungry for days. Cookie was cleansing him like little monkey. Once food was finished, he entered inside and Jimin quickly hugged Cookie tightly. Yoongi, from distance, you want more? When he didn't get any reply from him, he walked towards him. I'm asking something to you, and I need an answer in words. Jimin, shaking his head vigorously. No! Yoongi stopped at his place, looking at his condition. Follow me. I won't take your son away until you listen to me. Come fast. Yoongi's words had a warning. Jimin didn't dare to miss that. He followed Yoongi, carrying Cookie in his arms. Yoongi took him in the guest room and told him to sit on the bed. He gave him medicine from the box which Jin already prepared to feed Cookie. Jimin quickly fed Cookie medicine. Yoongi left from there after locking them in the room. Time skipped after a week. A week had passed. Jimin slowly became normal. He was still scared, but not like before. Yoongi always maintained a distance from him. Mostly he and Cookie stayed in his room. Jin always came in the morning and stayed the whole day with them. Cookie's condition was getting better. It was late at night. Cookie was crying and Jimin was trying to handle him. Yoongi just returned from his work and heard Cookie's cry. He went to them. Yoongi, what happened to him? Jimin, Jinhyang gave him an injection. He was sleeping peacefully, but suddenly he woke up and again started crying. Yoongi threw his coat. Give him to me. Took Cookie from his hand. Shh, I'm here. Cookie hugged him tightly and placed his head on his shoulder. Did he eat anything? Jimin, I fed him what Jinhyang prepared. Yoongi, he must have given him tasteless porridge. How will his stomach fill? He's hungry, that's why he's crying. Jimin, I offered him milk, but he isn't drinking. He spit it. Showed him full bottle. Yoongi, he didn't want it. He needs something special. Yoongi left from there and returned. After a few minutes, Cookie was calmed down. He wasn't crying, he was drinking milk. Yoongi sat on the bed with Cookie in his lap, who was happily drinking milk from his bottle. Jimin was looking at them with shocked eyes. Jimin, he's drinking milk, but when I gave it to him, he spit it. Yoongi, it's not normal milk. It's his favorite banana milk. Jimin, but Jinhyang told me to not give him this. Yoongi, he didn't know anything. All the time he just gave bidden medicines, injections and tasteless food. Don't listen to him and stop his banana milk. I will bring more back for him. Soon Cookie finished the milk. Yoongi dropped him at his feet. He went to Jimin, who was sitting near the window with his tiny baby feet. Jimin picked him up and made him sit on his lap. Jimin, so you were crying for banana milk? Cookie giggled. Yoongi, Jimin, are you alright now? Jimin, although he scared me to death, but now I'm fine. Yoongi, good. Tell me about yourself. It's been a week since you are here. Except your name, I don't know anything about you. You are looking so young. How old are you? Whose son is Cookie? Who was that man who sold you? Jimin, why are you lying? You are a mafia king. You must have known everything about me. Yoongi, yes, I know, but I want to hear your story from you. Jimin, There is nothing to tell me about you, myself. I'm just an useless and a failure boy. I was just born to embarrass everyone. First my parents, then Havo. One by one, everyone left me alone. Yungi, you used to be a brilliant student whose ambition was high. Your parents were very proud of you. Then suddenly, what happened that your parents turned their back to you? Jimin, closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. I'm 20 years old, the only child of my parents. They run a small coffee shop in Busan. Since childhood, I was good at studies. I always wanted to become a doctor. I studied day and night and cleared the CSET on my very first attempt. 2 years ago, I came to Seoul from Busan to chase my dream of getting into medical college. During my medical entrance preparation, I met Hyamo through a mutual friend. Within days, friendship turned into love. I cleared my college entrance exam. I started living with Hyamo in Livin. Everything felt new, exciting, and perfect. I was on cloud nine as if I didn't need anything else. Slowly, my focus shifted away from my studies. My parents found out about Hyamo. They became mad and tried to explain, to warn me, but I was blind in Hyamo's love. Instead of listening, I argued with them. I even said hurtful things. I thought they were the enemy of my love. They were trying to control my life and didn't let me live it by my own. I decided to marry Havo. I thought if he was with me, I didn't need anything else. My parents cut ties with me. I left my medical studies midway and moved to another city with him. I got my love. I didn't want anything else. Hyamu promised he would marry me. For a while, everything seemed fine, but slowly everything had changed. I was working, he lost his job, he became abusive. I thought he was stressed because of unemployment. I kept telling myself things would get better, but they didn't. After Cookies was born, everything completely changed. He treated neither me nor Cookie properly. Cookie was sick, he needed treatment, but Hyabo didn't even have money to bring food home. One day he apologized to me and told me to do a fresh start with him. He told me he had a friend in Seoul who would help us financially and offers us job. He said he had arranged everything. I only wanted a happy family. I believed him. Without thinking anything, I came to Seoul with him, and that's when I found out he had sold me. Now I have nothing, no parents, no love, no home, no job, nothing. I'm all broken. Yoongi had been listening silently the entire time. Tears were rolling down through Jimin's cheeks. Cookie was playing quietly in his lap. As the weight of Jimin's words settled in, Yoongi's expression darkened. Anger flicked into his eyes. He said, Yoongi picked the ball and threw it outside. Cookie, can you bring that ball? Cookie, looking at him, yes, Cookie, play ball. Jimin dropped him on his feet and he happily walked as fast as he could. He couldn't walk properly yet, but tried. As soon as Cookie left, Yoongi turned to Jimin. His expression quickly shifted from smiling to anger. He looked at Jimin, who was crying, and said, Yoongi, why are you crying now? Everything happened because of your own choices. Isn't this what you wanted? Did you get your perfect love? Did you build your perfect life? I really don't understand this generation. At the age meant for building a career, you run after love and marriage. And what's this logic? I'm an adult now, I can make my own decisions. What kind of maturity suddenly appears at 19 that makes you capable of deciding your entire future? What do you even know about life? You have barely stepped out of teenage and you want full control over everything. Becoming legally adult doesn't mean you stop needing your parents. Is this why they raised you? So one day you could say you don't need them anymore. No matter how old you grow, parents are needed at every step. You said your parents run a small coffee shop in Busan. You are their only child. Do you even know how expensive Seoul is? How costly medical education is? For your dream, how many of their dreams must have sacrificed? They must have imagined seeing you with a stethoscope around your neck. Didn't you feel even a little shame while breaking those dreams? Are dreams only yours? When a child dreams, it's never just their dream, it becomes the entire family's dream. What kind of love drags you only towards destruction and selfishness? You are still so young. Someone says, I will marry you, and you just believe it? Fine. If he married you, then what? Where did your dream go? For a few days of love, you abandoned your parents, you abandoned your childhood dream. True love stands beside you in every situation, it doesn't sell you and walk away. Clearing the she said, on your first attempt, especially for medical field, is no small achievement. Suddenly grabbed Jimin's wrist and dragged him towards the mirror. Look at yourself, a brilliant, ambitious boy who wanted to become a doctor, and today, at this young age, you are a father struggling to survive. The only reason you are standing here breathing is because of me. If I hadn't brought you here, you would have been laying in someone's bed as property. And Cookie, he would either have been killed or sent to an orphanage. Look where one decision brought you. You didn't just ruin your own life, you damaged your parents' lives and even your child's future. Is this the life you want to give Cookie? Before taking such a huge step, did you even once think about your parents? They cared for you your entire childhood, and when it was time for you to care for them, you chose yourself. Maybe your parents never slapped you when you were young. That's why you had the courage to make such reckless choices. Do you even realize how lucky you were? Parents who valued your dreams, who sacrificed everything to fulfill them. Everything that happened to you is the result of your own actions. And if you still don't understand that, then there is no one more foolish than you. You. Jung angrily left from there, leaving behind a silence heavier than his words. He knew if he would stay there for a few more minutes, he wouldn't be able to control himself. He saw Cookie at the doorframe, looking inside with his big two eyes, hugging the ball tightly. Yoongi stopped and patted his head, then left from there. Cookie quickly ran inside to Jimin. Jimin quickly held him in his arms. He wiped Jimin's tears with his tiny baby hands and said, Cookie, wiping Jimin's tears with his tiny baby hands. Mama, no cry, cry. Cookie, look, Mama. Hugging him, resting his head on Jimin's shoulder. Jimin hugging him tightly while closing his eyes. Mama is sorry, Cookie. Mama has spoiled your future too. But Mama will never let you suffer. Jimin and Cookie were hugging each other tightly. They both were the only family to each other. Their struggle just had begun. They had to face so many things together, and for that, they needed strength. Time skipped after a week. Jimin was sitting near the window and watching outside. Cookie was playing around with his new ball. Jin came there with a mug of coffees and sat beside Jimin. Jimin gave him coffee. Cookie is looking so happy. Jimin sipping his coffee. Yoongi brought him a new LED ball. Now he can easily find his ball. Yoongi is getting too much involved with Cookie, isn't he? Jimin, don't know Hyang. He always understands what Cookie wants and next day brings for him. Looking outside at all men walking back and forth. Hyang, who is that man? I noticed he always came here at this time but never entered inside the gate. Jin, looking at the men. He's my husband, Kim Namjoon. He always comes to pick me up. Jimin, shockingly looking at him. You're married? I didn't know. But why does he wait outside? I mean, he can come inside. Jin, he isn't allowed to enter here. Jimin, why? He's your husband and you are Yoongi's Hyang. Means it's your house too. Jin, no, it's only Yoongi's house. Yoongi doesn't like June. He didn't want me to marry him. He threatened him that if he dares to enter in his property, he would break his legs. So he always waits outside for me. Jimin, why? Jin, it's a long story. Jimin, I will tell you some other day. Jimin, oh, okay. Hyang, can I ask something? Jin, ask. Jimin, did you or Yoongi ever hurt your parents? Have you ever made a wrong decision? Jin, of course I do. When I was your age, I hurt my parents too. I made reckless decisions. It's normal at that age. We think we know everything. We think we don't need anyone, but with the time we realize how wrong we were. Remember this, Jimin. There is nothing wrong with making mistakes. What's wrong is refusing to learn from them. Mistakes are proof that we are growing. Everyone makes them. You are not alone. Jimin, but you probably didn't make the mistake of leaving your parents. You probably didn't make the mistake of choosing someone else over them. You probably didn't make the mistake of losing your identity for someone who never loved you. Jin smiled. Who told you that? I do make the same mistake. I even ran away from house. But the person I loved stopped me from going too far. We chose to marry with our family's blessing. There is nothing wrong with love. There is nothing wrong with marriage, but abandoning everything for it. That's where we go wrong. It's not too late for you. You're only 21. Your life hasn't even truly begun yet. You can still make a comeback. Jimin, but how? I have nothing left. Jin, think carefully. There is always a way. You just have to look for it. Jimin, voice trembling. I hurt my parents. They will never forgive me. I couldn't be a good son. Jin, I hurt mine too. I ran away from home, but June brought me back himself. I thought my family would never accept my relationship with June, and I wasn't wrong though. But June spoke to my parents. He told me that we didn't do anything wrong for that we had to run away like this. He assured me about our marriage. We waited years before getting married. Sometimes reconciliation takes time, but time heals more than we expect. You can say I'm lucky, but I also went through the pain and guilt. I know it's hard, but not impossible. Jimin, at least you had your partner who supported you. Mine sold me. Jin, but you are still safe and even more than you would ever be with your partner. Your son is alive, he is smiling. Yoongi never even touched you. He always maintained a safe distance from you. Jimin, Hyang, there is a huge difference between you and I. Your parents accepted you, your brother supported you, your partner healed you. Your parents must be proud of both Yoongi and you, not ashamed like mine. I'm a just a failure, Hyang, a failure. Jin, who told you this? My parents didn't accept us immediately. My brother didn't support me. He still hasn't accepted June even after years of marriage. There is nothing that you thought. Yoongi isn't my real brother. They never felt proud of Yoongi. When he was 10, his parents left him alone on the streets. He waited there for 2 days thinking they would come back, but they never did. My parents accidentally hit him by their car when they were returning from the party. They brought him home to avoid police complaint, although they never mistreat him, but neither accepted as their son. He was a person who just lived in our house. Yoongi always longed for a real family. He never liked June much. He felt June was the reason I drifted away from my parents. Jimin lowered his eyes. So that's why he got so emotional and hyper when I told him about my past. He shouted at me because he never had parental support and I threw mine away. Jin, exactly. The things we never receive, we value the most. Take care of yourself, patted his cheeks, and think about what you can still do from here. I should go now. June is waiting for me. Looked at Cookie, who was playing. Cookie, Ginny is leaving. Come, give me a hug. Cookie ran into his arms while giggling. Cookie, hug me, Ginny. Kissed both of Jin's cheeks. Jin laughed softly, then walked towards the entrance. Cookie followed him to the door before it locked from outside. Silence filled in the room again. Jimin sat there, lost in thought. For the first time since everything fell apart, he wasn't thinking about what he had lost. He was thinking about how to fix it. Time skipped after few months. Few months passed. Jimin was trying to regain his lost confidence. He decided to pursue his dream again. Yoongi brought the books and study material for the medical college entrance exam. Jin was helping him in studies. Cookie was happily playing with his doctor's set which June gifted him. Yoongi drove to another city. He visited a small house. A lady warmly welcomed him inside. Men, while holding bags, check yeah. I brought all the things and talked with the manager for loan. I have a good news. Stopped looking at Yoongi. Who are you? Sorry, I didn't recognize you. Have we met before? Yoongi stood up and took the bag from his hand. No, sir, we met for the first time. I'm Min Yoongi. Men, sit on the couch. Please have a seat. Lady, he came here to tell us something important. We were waiting for you. Men, oh, tell us what you want to say. Yoongi, I'm here to talk about your son, Park Jimin. Men, we don't have any son. You may leave. We don't want to talk about a stranger. Mrs. Park, at least listen to him. Mr. Park, there is nothing left to listen to. Didn't you remember what he did to us? What he told to us? He already made the decision. When he doesn't need us, then why do we care about him? Yoongi, your anger is justified. I'm not against it. But as his parents, you should have known for him. That's why I came here. Your son is in my house. His lover, Hyamwoo, sold him. Told him everything. I know he did wrong. He shouldn't go against you and choose Hyamwoo. But he's just a child. You are his parents. You know him better than me. Kids make mistakes. You have all the rights to stay angry at him, scold him, but at least talk with him. He needs you too. He is only 21. He already learned his lesson. He faced the consequence of his reckless decision. He isn't alone now. A tiny soul is with him. It's okay to not forgive him, but at least so of him. He is in guilt, completely shattered. I know it's your family matter, but place the note. It's my address. Please have a visit whenever you feel comfortable. I'm not forcing you, I'm just requesting you. Yoongi left from there, leaving them alone to think about it. He knew they need some time. He couldn't forcefully bring them to Jimin. Time skipped after 2 days. 2 days passed. It was evening time. Jin left for his home. Yoongi hadn't returned yet. Jimin was walking back and forth with his notebook. He was memorizing the notes which Jin prepared for him. Cookie was sitting on the couch in a doctor's apron with a stethoscope around his neck, eating chips which Jin prepared for him only. Jimin tricked Cookie and took a piece of chips and ate. Cookie was glaring at him like he attempted a serious crime. Jimin, stop giving me this look. I only ate one piece. You have the whole bowl. Didn't you remember? Mama taught you sharing is caring. Let's share them. You can't eat all. You need my help to finish them. Raised his hand. Cookie, Mama, thank you. Statue, no, eat this tasty food. Ginny say, no, Mama. Mama, Tati. Study. Mama, doctor. showed him stethoscope. Mama, no baby, cookie baby. Jimin, I have been studying for a long. I need a snack break. Placed the notebook on the table. Cookie stood up on the couch. Ah! Jimin, fine, I won't take break. Stop screaming. Look, I'm studying. Jimin again started memorizing the notes. Cookie started eating chips and drinking banana milk from his bottle. Doorbell rang and he went to open the door. Jimin, without looking at the person, Yoongi, you know he didn't let me eat. Stopped looking at the person in front of his eyes. Mom, Dad, you two are here? Mrs. Park, you were in pain and you didn't think it's necessary to tell us? Why didn't you come to us? Jimin, how would I come to you after hurting you both so much? I'm sorry, Dad. Won't you look at me? Mr. Park, why do I look at you? You are big enough to handle everything by your own. You don't need us. You can make your own decision, right? You know what is right and wrong for you. We don't need to interfere in your life. This is what you said to us. Jimin back hugged him while shaking his head vigorously. No, I need you too. I was so stupid back then. I was so wrong. Dad, I was blind in love. I was in my imaginary world. I didn't know life could be this hard. I'm sorry. Mr. Park pulled him from his bag and hugged him tightly. Your parents are here. You don't need to worry about anything. Now, we will handle everything. Jimin hugged him tightly and started crying like a child. I'm sorry, Dad. Mrs. Park patted his head. It's okay. We aren't mad. Stop crying. Don't you know tears make your tiny nose red like tomato and hide your tiny eyes? Jimin smiled a little. Yes, like this. Smile. Park family finally reunited after years of separation and pain. Jimin was so happy and relaxed to meet his parents. When Jimin didn't return, Cookie came to check him and found him crying and hugging Mr. and Mrs. Park. Cookie, Mama, Daddy, important. Study important. Mama. Stopped at his place to see Mr. and Mrs. Park. Mrs. Park, looking at Cookie, then Jimin. Your son, our grandson? Jimin wiped his tears and slowly nodded his head. Looking at Cookie. Cookie, come here and meet your Halmoni and Halbji. Maternal parents. Cookie running to them and cutely bowing. Oh, ha. Cutely pronounced. Mrs. Park smiled and bent down. It's okay. It's such a big name for you. You can call me Moni. I'm mom of your Appa. Mr. Park, and I am dad of your Appa. You can call me Abuji. Pulled his cheeks. Chekya, doesn't he look like baby Jimin? He also used to wander around in doctor's apron and stethoscope. Mrs. Park, yeah, how can I forget this? Maybe he also wants to become a doctor. Cookie, no doctor, Mama, doctor. Jimin, Mom, Dad, how do you know I'm here? Yoongi, standing at the door frame. I told them, but they came here with their own free will. I didn't force them. Jimin, looking at him. Thank you so much. Yungi, it's okay. Jimin and Cookie left with Mr. and Mrs. Park after the final dinner with Yungi in this house, leaving the empty and silent house behind them. Yungi wanted to stop them, but he didn't have a reason. He was happy to see Jimin with his family and Cookie with his grandparents. Time skipped after 2 weeks. 2 weeks had passed. Jimin and Cookie were gone. The house was silent, which used to echo with Cookie's broken and unclear words. Yungi stood in the balcony when he heard footsteps behind him. Yungi, Hyang, please go back. I don't want to hear anything. Leaning beside him against the railing, there was an emergency at the hospital. Jin had to rush there. Yungi turned sharply. What are you doing here? I told you if you step into my property, I will break your legs. Don't you value your life? June, I value it the most. That's why I am here. Don't glare at me like that. I brought fruit for you. Jin was supposed to come, but he got called to the hospital, so I came instead. Let's eat. Yungi, I'm not hungry. Take it and leave. June, I'm not leaving. By the way, this is the first time I have seen a mafia king drinking milk instead of alcohol. Yungi took another sip of banana milk. If I don't drink it, it will spoil. I don't waste the food. June glanced at Cookie's bottle in Yungi's hand. Oh, so bottle is spoiled too. That's new information. Yungi, you came here to give food. You have given it. Now leave and stop interfering in my matters. June, fine, I will leave, but first let's have one cigarette each. Yungi, I quit smoking. Jimin couldn't tolerate smoke. He struggled to breathe. June, how long are you going to stay in the dark and suppress your feelings? Why won't you admit that you fell in love with Jimin? Yungi, love is nonsense. It only ruins life. I don't love him. June, when someone thinks about another person before themselves, when they give up their own habits for that person, that's called love. Whether you admit it or not, but you love him. Yungi, stop your nonsense. June, if you don't love him, why didn't you go to his room through the balcony at midnight? Yungi, I want to return something he left behind. June, through the balcony? Then why are you still wearing his bracelet? Yungi glanced at Jimin's bracelet on his wrist. It looks nice, so I kept it. June, Jin has gifted you countless bracelets. You never wear a single one. What's so special about this ordinary bracelet? Yungi touched it unconsciously. It's glanced at him. Why should I tell you? June, just admit it. You are in love. Yungi, no, I'm not. June, you can lie to the world, not to yourself. Go confess. I'm sure Jimin won't reject you. Yungi, you want me to ruin his life again? He just regained his lost confidence. He is chasing his dream again, and you want me to take that away from him? June, no, I want you to stand beside him. while he achieves it. Love isn't a cage. True love doesn't hold someone back, it helps them grow, like I did with Jin. He's a doctor today because I never let him give up his dream. Even after marriage, he still achieved everything. Jimin can do that same. And you could finally have what you have waited for your entire life: parents, a life partner, a child, a real family which will only be yours. Jungi looked away. And what about Jimin? He is still young. This is the age to build his career, not settle down by marrying. I won't be selfish for my own happiness. June, that's not selfishness. Love doesn't ruin anything, it depends on a person. Immature love ruins everything, but mature love builds future. Love can heal everything. Jungi, it's not. Love doesn't exist. It only destroys, not builds. It only takes, never gives. Jimin and Cookie are where they belong with their family. My goal was to reunite him with them, not to claim him. If I wanted to claim him, I would have done it the day I bought him. This argument has no end. For you, love is good, but for me, it's poison. You won't change my thinking. June, fine. I can't force you to change, but we can at least have dinner together. If not for your love, then to celebrate that Jimin found his family again. After dinner, you can break my legs. I already have insurance and an appointment with an orthopedic doctor. Jungi faintly smiled to hear June's words, and the two of them went inside to eat together for the first time. Not every love story is meant to reach its destination. Some loves remain unfinished, yet they shine brighter than the ones that do. Because love was never about possession, it was never about holding someone close just to call them yours. Love is about letting go when holding on would hurt them. It is about choosing their dreams over your desires, their future over your feelings. Sometimes the purest form of love is the one that sacrifices itself silently. By the way, what do you think was what Jungi did right? Should he really not come in between Jimin's dreams? Or, as June said, should he help Jimin fulfill his dreams and stand by him like a true life partner? Sometimes love that feels like freedom can slowly turn into a cage. Abuse is never love, and surviving it's not weakness, it's strength. The right person doesn't own you, silence you, or break you. They help you rebuild. Healing begins the day someone chooses to protect your dreams instead of controlling them. Family can be lost through mistakes, but forgiveness can rebuild what pain once destroyed. And sometimes the most unexpected heart become the safest home. The end. Author's note. That's it for today. I hope you all liked it. It was the requested story for one shot. I hope I didn't disappoint you. Most teenagers and young adults feel that they have grown up and are now capable of making their own life decisions. There is nothing wrong with that. However, the decision to get married is a very serious one. Sometimes such choices can affect not only your own life but also the lives of future generations, as it happened with Jimin. Not everyone is fortunate enough to find someone like Yungi. So before making any major decision, it's important to think carefully and consider all the consequences. I hope you all enjoyed it. We will meet soon with new story. Till then, take care of yourself. Love you all. If you like this story, then please do like, subscribe, share, and comment. I assure you that you will never gonna regret on your decision. Thanks for watching.